All right, everybody. Hey, it's David Kramer, the Critical Thinking Christian, and today I want to talk about uh, Ur of the Chaldees. Okay, I'm going to read two passages from Genesis. The first is Genesis 11:28, and the next one will be Genesis 15, verse 7. And Haran died before his father Terah in the land of his nativity, in Ur of the Chaldees. All right. Now Genesis 15:7. And he said unto him, I am the Lord that brought thee out of Ur of the Chaldees. All right, now he's talking to Abraham here. This has to do with Abraham, the father of Israel. And both of these speak of the city of Ur being under the control of the Chaldees, or as the Bible will say, the Chaldeans. Okay. Now, let's take a look when the Chaldeans ruled. Okay? All right. When they had the city of Ur. In 1927, Leonard Woolley identified Ur-Kasdim with the Sumerian city of Ur, founded circa 3800 BC in southern Mesopotamia, where the Chaldeans settled much later, around the 9th century BC. All right, now that's the 9th century. All right, now what year was Abraham around? What years? Okay, the patriarch Abraham was around from circa 1996 BC to 1821 BC. Okay? So, we have a bit of a problem here. If the Chaldeans only settled there in the southern Mesopotamia around the 9th century BC, and how come does the Bible talk about Ur of the Chaldees? Now here, you could say, well, whoever wrote this during the time of the Chaldees, and says what Haran, he died in Ur of the Chaldees because they know it to be Ur of the Chaldees. So you could say that. But this one here, Genesis 15:7, God's talking to Abraham. And he said unto him, God, I am the Lord that brought thee out of Ur of the Chaldees. Okay, and that could not be because Ur of the Chaldeans, as I said, only occupied that and controlled that area in the 9th century BC. Who controlled that area around in the later, would be the later Bronze Age? Well, the Amorites rose to prominence in southern Mesopotamia in the 18th century. That would have been in the 1700s of BC. Before that, it was after the fall of Hammurabi's short-lived Babylonian Empire. Okay? So, Hammurabi would have been, his empire would have been there. It would have been, I don't know what that's called. It's the Babylonians, so it would have been the Babylonians. Okay? And it later became part of the native Akkadian ruled Sealand dynasty. But the Chaldeans were not in that area until, it says, well, there's a lot of, the city, along with the rest of southern Mesopotamia and much of the Near East, Asia Minor, North Africa, and southern Caucasus, fell to the North Mesopotamian Neo-Assyrian Empire from the 10th to late 7th century BCs. From the end of the 7th century BC, Ur was ruled by the so-called Chaldean dynasty of Babylon. Okay. So That's even, this is the 7th century. Let's see. That says the 9th. Okay, so it was in that time frame. So Abraham, okay, this whole thing here, he didn't bring him up out of Ur of the Chaldees. So, I saw that. I'm looking for more, I guess you could say, looking for more problems in the Bible, and there's another one. It's a small one, but still, it doesn't, crap that don't make sense. Like I said, inerrant Word of God. I look at it this way. Maybe I said this before, but they tell you, well, look at this. Here's the important stuff. And my thing is, if you can't get the small shit right, then how can I have faith in the big stuff? All right, so that'll be it for today. It's a short one, and let me know what you think. And until next time, I'm going to be looking for more. I probably will get a few more out today, but I'm going to look for more, and just I want to make sure there's stuff like there's a king. Maybe I said this before. There was a king who reigned, and in the one book, his father died at age 40, and when he started reigning, he was age 42. I think it was Ahaziah. And I thought, okay, there's another one. But then in another book, he's age 22, which means he would have been 18 years younger than his father. So stuff like that, I'm going to say, okay, it was a typo. It was a scribe error, stuff. So I'm not going to stuff like that. But stuff like this, where it's obvious that 900 years later, or 1,000 years later, the Chaldeans rule Ur. They are in control. And during Abraham's time, from what I see, it would have been Hammurabi. Well, it would have been, I think, Hammurabi. Okay, because Amorites, I think it was the 18th century. So Abraham would have been dead, I think, already. I'm not sure, but the Chaldeans didn't rule that area at that point. So, all right, that'll be it for today. And like I said, I'm going to look for more and get some more out today. And until next time, I'm David Kramer, the Critical Thinking Christian.